Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Taurus. If Taurus is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so this is a bonus reading for Taurus. And tonight we have the Moon card. This is from Tarot of the Abyss deck. Let's take a look at what these tea leaves have to say tonight. Okay. So if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. All right. Okay, so I see we have, it looks like a face here. You can see the eyes and the nose and the mouth, the hair. And here's the body kind of wrapped up this way. It almost kind of looks like somebody lying down or falling, but they're kind of legs up high, right? Now we have a tall flower. It looks like a rose, and you can see the leaves and this long stem. And then as we kind of turn this where it is the body of the person, you can see closely we have two people who are kind of, in a kind of holding one another, right? Close together. And it does feel kind of like a romantic embrace. So I do feel like there's this sense of, falling in love, or maybe having some kind of crush, or, maybe a bit of a fantasy about somebody, or somebody or somebody who you know in passing, or maybe it is some kind of famous icon or something like this. And I apologize, TT is back there messing with the door, even though it is open. She likes to shake it a bit, so it's a little loud. Now this could be that you're kind of like in a state of falling in love with something as well. This could be a piece of work, or a creative project, your career, your schooling, what family member, maybe a new baby in the family, but whatever it is, it doesn't have to be romantic. I just feel like we see these people in this embrace here. We see the rose, and there is this sense of like a falling, or kind of being out of sorts a little bit, and it makes me think there is kind of the sensation of love, and maybe a little bit of fixation, and some healthy obsession. So yes, definitely not a terrible feeling. And it could be that this is something that is kind of like a love from afar, something that is not to be realized, but something to kind of, swim in a little bit, have some daydreams. Maybe if you're like a person that reads like those like romantic novels, or watches kind of romantic genre movies, this would be something akin to that. But maybe somebody in the real world, somebody that you have kind of a liking for. Now we also have the number 2, okay, and that rose is just interesting because it does feel like when I see the rose, it is a sense of the mysteries, well, if you know about the mystery schools of Greece and then Rome, of the Hellenistic period, there were a variety of mystery schools. I know most about Orpheus and the Orphic mysteries myself, but there are also other cults of of the different gods and so anyways, within these mystery initiative systems, the image of the rose kind of has always been around. Now, it is also found in systems like Hermeticism, Gnosticism, the Rosicrucians, and the rosy crux or rosy cross, one of their symbols, and so the TT, she's growling because she wants me to pay attention to her. But yes, the rose is the symbol of the mystery, the sub rosa, the hidden thing, okay? And as it opens, it shows us its secret. We are kind of going through that lifting of the veil, right? Entering the temple. If you could imagine a temple, maybe like a cathedral, right? The cathedral in the main room with the high altar, and this is where you would usually sit for like mass or some kind of service. But if you could imagine on the outside of the temple, of the cathedral, or whatever kind of building you want to think of, a holy building, if there were an outside kind of a courtyard or what they call a porch, right? And this is where people kind of congregate. Now, in these higher initiative kind of images, these are allegories, alchemical, occult, whatever you like to call it. This is where you will find the outer temple. That's what you would call kind of people who partake in the religion or the philosophy, the system, but they are not initiated into that inner temple yet. They have not gained access to the higher secrets. So this would be kind of like if you were in maybe like a Abrahamic religion or a Christian, which I know most about. In the church, you would become, elevated as some kind of clergy person and then maybe an elder of the church and so on. And these would be kind of the initiated people. Well, now we can apply this to life as well, all parts of our life, as all parts of our life are our temple, our holy place. And the divine is ever present in everything that we do, everywhere we go, within us and without us, right? And so, when we become acutely aware of this, when we begin to live by this principle, and know that, yes, we are in fact miracles. We are divine creatures. We are absolutely made of star stuff and God stuff and divine stuff, or, whatever you feel comfortable calling it. And it changes the way that we live in a lot of ways. How could you live a life of divinity without noticing that there's magic everywhere? And there is magic all throughout our days. And so I look at this and I think, we have that moon card. It is the card of those magical unknowns, kind of venturing out into the yard at night, hearing all of the sounds, not knowing what all of them are. Everything feels a little bit different Doesn't look the same as when you're out there at 2 in the afternoon mowing the lawn, does it? It looks very different. It's a whole different universe, a whole different kingdom. And so, I feel that you're kind of venturing into your own life with this kind of beautiful and arising knowledge of just how close to spirit you are. And in fact, there's no difference between you and spirit. So we act accordingly, right? Or at least we try to. At least we try to. And I feel like this beautiful growing and crawling and thriving and soon to be opening fully, this beautiful rose. And something for you to be, beloved to. Definitely. I feel that, as much as this is a gift to you, you have created this gift. So, you are your own architect, or your own master, your own knower. And I like the term, or the phrase, you are the question and the answer. And that is the truth. Now we have here 604. Okay, 604. Maybe that's an area code. I don't know. We have a money symbol right here. You can see right there. We also have a torch. We have the torch, and I have some fish up here kind of jumping in the 7. So I do feel like, through this time, even though it does feel kind of bizarre, I mean, honestly, it just is a bizarre kind of twisting and turning, Alice down the rabbit hole kind of feeling in your life right now. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, and I think this is what, depersonalization kind of is a little bit. But sometimes I find myself thinking, like, is this my life? Am I in my own life right now? It doesn't always feel like something that it's like I'm awakening. I am waking up, awakening within the middle of my day sometimes, and I think it is maybe disassociative a bit, but I don't think it's terrible to feel like a stranger in your own life for a moment, because when you do, you start to notice all kinds of things. It's like coming into a room that you've never been and scanning everything over. Yes, it's novel, and yes, you might kind of miss some things, but whatever is important and stands out to you, you have new eyes to see. And I think so often we travel through our lives kind of on autopilot, like we're sleepwalking through the dang thing. And we just absolutely miss stuff because we're so used to how things are going. We have our routines. We kind of anticipate, this is what's going to be, and this is what, I will be experiencing. And we don't necessarily notice the fine details. So I think when you have these moments where, it feels like all of a sudden I've waken up, I've been woken up in this in this place where everything, I know everything here, but it still feels just like a tick off, right? A little bit like it's just, I don't know, a little bit foreign, right? You're waking up in a place that just I don't know, you perceive something to be slightly off. Now, it doesn't have to be bad. It just feels kind of like a clarity, right? A clarity of I'm not the sum total of my life, really. I am a consciousness walking through the landscape of my life. And Even the things that we hold on to and we kind of attribute to our self-mythology, our personality, our persona, these things ultimately are not who we are. They absolutely aren't. They are things that we collect and we kind of put in our pocket and we hold on to. It is up to you if you want to keep hold of that or not, right? And you might think, well, that's really strange because I'm so-and-so and I'm from this place and these are my parents and, this is factual things about how I've existed. But, I argue that these are all perceptions. These are all things that we've decided to agree with. Maybe, somebody did birth you and you share their DNA, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they are your family, right? I mean, and I know that might be controversial, but you decide. You get to decide. Are you invested in these people? Do they feel like your kin? And even if they have for a long time and you decide that they aren't anymore, if for one reason or another, that is up to you, right? And I'm only using these as examples. But yes, I think that, so it is important for us to once in a while, come to this, realization, be kind of shaken out of our slumber and think, oh, is this my life? Is this who I am? Am I all these things that I think I am? Or am I the things that I lack? Or, my circumstances or my feelings, my emotions. It's something to think about. I say it is, and this is the truth in it. Well, what do I know? You have to decide for yourself. But, I think this is how I live my life a little bit, is that I live a little bit loosely with reality. I have a loose relationship with with reality of things. You gonna come sit over here, or what are you gonna do? All right. And then we're gonna take a... No. Okay, go. Go on, Mama. Taking a sip here. My mouth is getting a little dry. Okay, let's take a look. We have a carrot. We have a C. We have a cross. Right in there. I'm reading this on Good Friday, too. So, we are towards the end of Holy Week here. Good Friday, the day of the crucifixion and burial, I believe. So a very powerful day indeed. And although I don't, necessarily partake in the religion, I'm very interested in the teachings, and I do. The Holy Week is one of my favorite periods of time, because it's one of the most important stories, at least to, at least to the world in this moment, in this era of time, in this period of time. So it is important to know these things, to look into them and understand them to some degree. So I'm looking at this and I feel like there is a sense of, we have a dove, we have the cross, I have an eye. I feel like there is a heart that is at ease. There is some peace here for you. I feel that there is a rising sense of power in your own life. I feel like you are somebody who has a lot of love to share. I feel like you are somebody who I feel first thing that came to mind as I was saying that is, I feel like you're somebody who maybe doesn't like to be alone, but you have spent more time with yourself these last few years than any time in your life, and I think that in some ways that was really hard, maybe even kind of you felt emotionally paralyzed at times, but I think that you have been fortified in a way that you otherwise wouldn't have been. And I feel like when you come out of a period of time where you have been kind of solitary, kind of focused on your own life, and you get back in there, connecting with people, being with your loved ones more often, maybe socializing and so on, there's an appreciation there that maybe would not have been so profound if you had not had that time by yourself. I also feel like there's a sense of enjoying your own company, maybe for the first time in a long time, and it changes the whole vibe of how you are with other people. I think it makes it so much easier to have relationships that are not in a lot of turmoil. I get a sense of really just like you want to hang out, you want things to be easy, you want to enjoy the things you enjoy, have a life that promotes a sense of kind of emotional wellness, stability, consistency, not these high highs and low lows, and having partnerships within your relationships, not just romantic, but with family and friends, and having meaningful interactions and conversations and so on. I feel like there's I've immediately started to feel like there's like butterflies in your stomach sometimes. And I think this maybe is with this person that we were talking about at the beginning. There seems to be this kind of crush here. And I think with the rose too, what it makes me think of is this kind of central guiding force that love is for you. A real sense of love is my religion. Love is my religion. Yeah. Okay, so we have a K and maybe a T, maybe KT. And then we have a 7. So good luck. There is some good luck there. Okay. All right. We have the lightness of being affirmation cards. I'm going to go ahead and flip through here real quick. Stop where it feels right. Oops. Come on, go and focus. There we go. And it says grace, serenity. The music of the plants beckons you to dance, soften perception to subtle delights. Yeah, I like that one. I want to live like that all the time. Just enchanted by those just kind of beautiful, fuzzy and sparkly, kind of emanations and impressions, and the kind of swirling, ecstatic love of dance and music and rhythm and so on. Something so beautiful. Kind of a little bit of a tiny fairy tale in our own lives. Okay, Taurus, I'm going to go ahead and tell you I love you. I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It's always such a pleasure to be able to bring these messages to you. If you'd be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. And if you haven't subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It's It's free to subscribe. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I read them all. They mean the world to me. And if you're partaking in any of the holidays that are currently happening or, will be happening soon, please enjoy yourself and be safe. Take care of yourself. Take care of those around you. Please drive safely. Don't drink and drive. I know I save it for the holidays, but I wish I could say that on every reading. I don't want to be, annoying about it, but it is something that I am, very passionate about. It's just, something that we all have to, we are the keepers, of our kin, of our neighbors, of our fellow human beings and ourselves, of course. So, it's never worth it. Please, take care and get a ride from somebody if you need to. So anyways, I love you. I love you, Taurus. I love you. And I thank you again for spending some time with me. And we'll talk in just a few days from now. Good night. I'm going to bed. And bye-bye.